Hello, this is the network service of the NTA. Welcome to the News at 10 on NTA News 24, reaching you live from Abuja. I am Musbat and we'll have the headlines. Political and economic stability. Nigeria and German government €1 billion financing bilateral agreements as European Union grants €15 million to Nigeria energy support program. House of Representatives urges drastic measures to combat acts of terrorism in Anambra State. Southeast governors move to end incessant killings and further sit-at-home orders in the Southeast region. Thanks a lot for staying tuned in. The federal government signed a €101 million financing bilateral agreement with the Republic of Germany. NTA Oko report that the funds for various development programs in the country.
The signing agreement is the climax of a two-day government negotiations held virtually between both countries in Abuja and Bonn. Nigeria and Germany have agreed on three core areas of cooperation, namely sustainable economic growth, food security, and renewable energy.
Furthermore, it is pertinent to mention that these various interventions across sectors and the proposed spend align succinctly with this administration's developmental priorities and the ongoing National Development Plan, with the vision to catalyze the potential of the public, private, and social sectors to stimulate industrialization and inclusive growth.
So we agreed on new projects that are focusing on peace building and conflict prevention, stabilization, supporting refugees and also host communities in the northeast, but also in the Middle Belt in Nigeria.
The €101 million economic cooperation agreement is intended for 2021 and 2022. In Abuja, NTA Oko, NTA News.
Meanwhile, the European Union has granted additional €15 million to strengthen its assistance to the Nigerian energy support program towards ensuring an enabling environment for renewable energy and energy efficiency in the country. Adebola Brookslyn Sunday reports.
The Nigerian Energy Support Program has been in operation in the country since 2013 for the promotion of investment in Nigeria's domestic markets for renewable energy, energy efficiency, and to improve access to electricity for the disadvantaged, mostly in the rural communities. It is in a bid to ensuring more impacts on Nigerians that the co-funders are extending the grants with additional €15 million, making a total of €35 million, which will take the project to 30th November 2022.
We will continue to prioritize the objectives of renewable energy, climate change, as well as the goal of economic diversification and creation of decent jobs.
Especially when we look into the recycling of waste that comes out of renewable energy sites. And one core area that we want to go deeper into is recycling of batteries.
So far, about 3,000 settlements and 2.6 million buildings have been remotely mapped with over 50,000 kilometer electricity grid tracked in 22 states.
We are targeting 130,000 Nigerians having access to electricity. And we are talking about people that have never had.
The Nigerian Energy Support Program, in partnership with the German Corporation for International Cooperation, GIZ, is a technical assistance program co-funded by the European Union and the German government in collaboration with the Federal Ministry of Power. Adebola, Brooksland Sunday, NTA News.
As part of efforts to acquaint the judiciary with the philosophy and thrust of the Petroleum Industry Act, particularly the most contentious areas, the Petroleum Technology Development Fund is in collaboration with the National Judicial Institute has organized a two-day workshop for justices and judges. In Abuja, Lydia Sampson reports.
The passage of the Petroleum Industry Act is seen as a new reality in the transformation of Nigeria's oil and gas sector. As the industry is transiting to the PIA implementation, the workshop with the theme, Petroleum Industry Act, New Legal and Physical Regime in the Nigerian Oil and Gas Industry, is taking note of the role of justices and judges as critical stakeholders in the implementation. Minister of State Petroleum Resources, Timipre Silva, expects that given the national and international interest the PIA has generated, the judiciary's dockets will soon be populated by cases on how the law should be operationalized.
The participation and cooperation of every stakeholder is required and actively solicited. The law can have the desired multiplier effect on the economy, investments, infrastructure, employment, the environment and well-being of the citizens only when we all work together to bring into existence the state of affairs within our expectations.
The Chief Justice of Nigeria, Justice Ibrahim Tanko Mohammed, says the theme of the workshop is not only apt but captures the essence of the gathering. He urged justices and judges to further use the platform to build capacity on relevant laws governing the oil and gas sector, adding that the judiciary is not oblivious of the fact that the implementation of the PIA might provoke conflict in the areas of implementation.
This will require a judicial officer to have a proper grasp of this new legislation. Consequently, this workshop will bring to the front burner the imperatives for correct judicial interpretation of the Petroleum Industry Act. This would boost the development of our national economy.
For the Executive Secretary, Petroleum Technology Development Fund, Bello Aliu Gusau, the workshop is to help in the realization of objectives of the PIA while deepening understanding of the Act, which overhauls the legal and regulatory framework of the Nigerian petroleum industry, as well as clarifies the rules of engagement for the monetization of the nation's valuable hydrocarbon resources. In Abuja, Lydia Sampson, NTA News.
The federal government says it is ready to extend a helping hand to South Sudan towards enhancing the country's political and economic stability. President Muhammadu Buhari gave assurance while granting audience to the South Sudanese leader, President Salva Kiir, in Addis Ababa, Ethiopia. State House correspondent Tada Musambo reports that the president has since returned to Abuja.
President Muhammadu Buhari said the full support of Nigeria will be given to all efforts towards bringing long-term stability and prosperity to the continent as well as the development of South Sudan. He asked President Salva Kiir to take Nigeria into confidence in his request for assistance, stressing the need for cooperation amongst developing countries. The Nigerian leader said with investments in education, improved economy and healthcare, things will surely improve. On the situation in Guinea, Guinea and Mali, President Buhari reiterated the need for African leaders to support efforts geared towards the return of democracy in the countries. President Salva Kiir had earlier acknowledged Nigeria's leadership role in Africa, appreciating the country's efforts in the liberation struggle of South Sudan.
He went back a memory lane and highlighted all the support that Nigeria has provided to South Sudan and continues to, and thanked Mr. President very much for it. He gave a situation report of not just what's happening in South Sudan, but also in Sudan itself, and even the role that he is playing as a mediator now in Sudan. And together they agreed that there was a need to work together to address the security challenges in West Africa and in Eastern Central Africa. Another point he mentioned was also the role that the First Lady of Nigeria is playing in supporting orphans in South Sudan, and asked Mr. President to extend his thanks to the First Lady for that.
Meanwhile, President Muhammadu Buhari has returned to Abuja from Ethiopia, where he attended the inauguration of Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed for a second term in office. He was received on arrival at the Nnamdi Azikiwe International Airport by his Chief of Staff, Professor Ibrahim Gambari, FCT Minister Muhammad Musa Bello, Inspector General of Police Usman Alkali Baba, and the Director General, Department of State Services, Yusuf Magaji Bichi. In Abuja, Adam Musambo, NTA News.
Now let's get to the National Assembly, where the Senate has confirmed the nomination of 5 persons for appointments as Secretary and members of Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC. National Assembly correspondent Ignatius Nkwo reports.
Implementation
Plenary commenced with the presiding officer, the Deputy President of the Senate, Ovie Omar Gege, reading letters from President Muhammadu Buhari. One of the letters seeks Senate consideration of the 2022-2024 revised medium-term expenditure framework and fiscal strategy paper, which has increased federal government 2022 aggregate expenditure from 13.98 trillion naira to 16.45 trillion.
The PIA establishes a progressive fiscal framework. This significantly alters the oil and gas fiscal terms and has necessitated changes in the 2022 to 2024 medium-term fiscal framework.
The President is likely going to submit the budget to the National Assembly on Thursday. It is important that these revisions are made.
President Buhari also requested the confirmation of Justice Hussaini Baba Yusuf as Chief Judge for the High Court of the Federal Capital Territory. Thereafter, Senate considered the report of its Committee on Anti-Corruption and Financial Crimes, which screened 5 nominees as Secretary and members of the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission. The report presented by the chairman of the committee, Suleiman Abdulkwari, observed that the committee members were satisfied with the nominees' qualifications and suitability. George Ekungu as Secretary, with Lukman Muhammad, Anumba Adeze, Kola Adeshina, and Yahya Mohammed as board members.
The Senate, we wish to recommend that the Senate do confirm the nomination of the underlisted persons.
Senate has passed the Tertiary Hospital Development Fund Establishment Bill, sponsored by Senator Sani Musa. The bill seeking to amend the compulsory treatment and care for victims of gunshots to expand its scope and establish medical emergencies assistance, sponsored by Senator Oluremi Tinubu, passed second reading.
Security agents and persons alike shall render every assistance to persons with gunshot wounds, etc.
If you get a criminal who is injured and you say you won't treat him, let him die, he dies with an information that would have helped the security agencies.
The River Basin Development Authority Act Amendment Bill, sponsored by Senator Ike Ekweremadu, also passed second reading. From the National Assembly, Ignatius Nkwo, NTA News.
This is the News at 10 on NTA News 24. When we return from this break, Southeast governors move to end incessant killings and further sit-at-home orders in the Southeast region. Join us again. thanks a lot for staying tuned in. The House of Representatives Committee on National Security and Intelligence wants emerging trends in the world of crime and criminals to be treated comprehensively as curricular and security-related training institutions. The Chairman, House Committee on National Security and Intelligence, Shaban Sharada, said this during an oversight to the National Institute of Security Studies, Abuja. National Assembly correspondent Lami Ali reports.
The issue was raised by Representative Chris Azubogu, who escaped death by the whiskers last week Thursday, but one of his drivers was not as lucky, as he was shot dead following an attack on their convoy along Newi-Nobi Road. The House noted recent killing of Dr. Chike Akunyili, husband of late Dora Akunyili, and 8 others in the suburb of Onitsha, including the attack on the DSS and FRSC offices in Nnewi last Sunday, 3rd October 2021.
These killings are probably orchestrated by mischief makers who are bent on causing tension and panic in the state ahead of the upcoming November 6th governorship election in Anambra State.
In another development, Representative Roland Ibakpa, coming under matter of privilege, has called on the federal government to make public name of the National Assembly member said to be involved in sponsoring terrorism.
The leadership of the House should liaise with their counterpart in the Senate to try and see Mr. President so that he can tell you, one, the person that is sponsoring terrorism among the 469 members. Then two, he should go ahead because he has the powers of prosecution to prosecute that person.
At the commencement of plenary, House Speaker Femi Gbajabiamila read a presidential communication requesting consideration and approval of the revised medium-term expenditure framework and fiscal strategy paper 2022 to 2024.
The revision was necessitated by the need to reflect the new fiscal terms in the Petroleum Industry Act 2021, as well as other critical expenditures in the 2022 budget.
3 bills passed second reading. A bill to make provisions for right to food, sponsored by House Chief Whip Mohammed Tahir Mungunu. A bill to establish Food Vendors Data Agency from Yunus Abubakar, and a bill seeking to amend Federal University Equal, sponsored by Chinedu Oga.
It is inherently contradictory for the Constitution to guarantee the right to life. On the other hand, woefully fail to provide the right to food.
10 bills passed first reading, including a bill to amend the National Broadcasting Commission Act and the Trade Dispute Act. From the National Assembly, Lami Ali, NTA News.
Right, that was a report by Lami Ali on the adoption of resolution urging authorities to take urgent and drastic measures to combat elements terrorizing people in Anambra State. And now let's return to this story, where the House has also of the House Committee on National Security and Intelligence wants emerging trends in the world of crime and criminals to be treated as comprehensively as curriculars in security-related training institutions. Lami Ali again reports.
Capacity building for personnel of the various security agencies in the country is of priority. The House Committee on National Security and Intelligence stressed that development in the world of crime has put security operatives to task, adding that considering these challenges, training institutions must impart to trainees knowledge that will put them steps ahead of criminals.
It is the committee's conviction that if these expectations are met, a large number of ridiculous security gaps will have been addressed. The Institute is therefore expected to train and retrain our security operatives on scientific and modern investigative techniques.
Leadership of the Institute said collaboration is among effective strategies to clamp down on criminals at the stage of planning.
This year we're having about 24 agencies of government. The military, the police, the custom, everybody is here. So we expect that in the next 3 years, they should be heading their agencies. And this is what collaboration, synergy. We don't need to wait for me to write to your agency to respond to any security challenge.
Those attending this EIMC program, when they finish, they go to University of Ilorin to complete that because most of our programs are tailored with that of University of Ilorin.
NISS was first established as a training school and upgraded to an institute in 2019 by an act of the National Assembly. Lami Ali, NTA News.
The Inspector General of Police Usman Alkali Babas ordered the immediate posting of a new Commissioner of Police to Anambra State. The new CP, Echeng Eworo Echeng, takes over from CP Tony Olofu, who has been redeployed to the force headquarters, Abuja. The IGP has also ordered the deployment of a detachment of the police special forces to Anambra State to bolster the complement the ongoing peace-building efforts of the Nigeria Police Operation Restore Peace in Anambra State. A statement by CP Frank Mba, Force Public Relations Officer, Force Headquarters, says the IGP, who is particularly concerned with the renewed incident of attacks on innocent individuals and symbol of state authority in the state, ordered the new Commissioner of Police to mobilize both kinetic and non-kinetic law enforcement in crime-fighting approaches to reverse the negative trend, reclaim public spaces from hoodlums, and restore public peace in the state. CP Echeng, until his appointment, was the Commissioner of Police in charge of Bayelsa State. The IGP charged the new police chief to work with other stakeholders and patriotic forces in Anambra State to restore law and order, leveraging on his professional experience. The IGP also called on people of Anambra to support and cooperate with the new Commissioner of Police and his task of protecting the lives and property of all. His posting is with immediate effect. And with barely 1 month to the Anambra governorship election, INEC is worried over the escalating security situation in the state. In order to provide a secured environment for the exercise, the Interagency Consultative Committee on Election Security is reviewing its strategies. INEC Chairman Professor Mahmoud Yakubu is, however, optimistic that no amount of threat will deter the Commission from conducting the election.
The stated goal of many of the attackers is that the governorship election scheduled for the 6th of November 2021 must not hold. This is worrisome for the Commission. We are deeply concerned that specific electoral facilities and materials could once more become targets of attack. We will continue to work with the security agencies and in consultation with respected opinion leaders in Anambra State and the National Peace Committee to ensure that these hit-and-run attacks do not derail the electoral process. We wish to assure the people of Anambra State that the Commission is determined to proceed with the election as scheduled.
I wish to state that the Office of the National Security Advisor is working assiduously with relevant security and intelligence agencies toward arresting the foregoing ugly trend and other associated security challenges in the Southeast Zone and beyond.
Minister of Interior Rauf Aregbesola was among those in attendance. The governors and leaders of the Southeast Zone have condemned the sit-at-home order and killings in the zone, resolving to join hands with the security agents to stop the incessant killings and further sit-at-home orders in the Southeast. This was contained in a communique issued at the end of a security meeting by the leaders of the zone in Enugu. Susan Eze has the reports.
Rising from the meeting necessitated by the urgent need to salvage the Southeast Zone from the increasing rate of insecurity and disruption of free movement of people and economic activities, the governors and Southeast leaders totally condemned the acts and agreed to support the security agencies to restore peace in the Southeast.
The meeting condemned the sit-at-home orders, which are mostly issued by our people in diaspora who do not feel the pains. In view of the information The meeting resolved that governors and all the people of the Southeast do everything within the law to ensure that there is no further seat at home in Southeast and that people are allowed to freely move about in the zone. The meeting agreed that Southeast Abuja security outfit be lodged in all the Southeast states.
The Southeast governors and leaders also resolved to support the coming election in Anambra State and urged the security agencies to ensure a peaceful election in the state come November 6, 2021. The meeting received the committee reports from the Ohanese Ndibo on various matters affecting the zone and resolved to study them for immediate implementation and engagement with the federal government for amicable settlement of all issues agitating the minds of the people. Commending the religious and other groups for interfacing with the youths, the leaders encouraged the groups to continue to dialogue with the youths in the interest of peace. In Enugu, Susan Eze, NTA News.
All right, so we get to hear more on the updates from that meeting in just a moment. Let's take a break on the News at 10. We'll return shortly.
Let's blow your trumpets. Advertise on NTA News 24, located at the headquarters premises of the NTA, Area 11, Garki, Abuja. Our rates are affordable. Our reach is far and wide. We are on DSTV channel 419, Star Times channel 101, Go TV channel 46, Free TV channel 703.
Broadcast activities of the Nigerian Senate, Federal House of Representatives, and all the 36 state houses of assembly. NTA Parliament, strengthening Nigeria's democracy.
Fellow compatriots, if no single tribe or religion has defeated poverty, then no single tribe or religion can develop Nigeria. The success story of every state and capital is the contribution of every tribe and religion. Our Nigeria no be wazobia. No majorities or minorities. Every tribe and every religion still dey hustle for naira when no get tribe or religion. So, my country people,